Welcome, everyone. I'm thrilled to have you here today for our skills training session on final expense basics. Whether you're brand new to this product or you've been in the field for a while and want to sharpen your approach, this training is designed to give you a practical, real-world tools to succeed. Final expense insurance may not be the flashiest product in your portfolio, but it's one of the most meaningful. It's about helping families prepare for one of life's most difficult moments. And when it's done right, it's not just a sale, it's a service. It's a way to bring peace of mind, financial stability, and dignity to people who are planning ahead. Today's session is all about building confidence. More than anything, this is about developing your voice as an advisor. Clients don't just want information. They want someone who understands their concerns, listens to their goals, and offers solutions that truly fit. That's what we're here to help you do. So whether you're joining us from Knoxville, Tennessee, or tuning in from somewhere else, thank you for investing your time in this training. You're about to gain insights that will not only help you grow your business, but also make a real difference in the lives of the people you serve. Before we dive into the details, let's take a quick look at what we'll be covering today. This agenda is designed to guide us through the essentials of final expense insurance, from the foundational concepts all the way to the practical sales strategies. We'll start with a clear definition of what final expense insurance is and why it's such a critical product in today's market. You'll see how it differs from other types of life insurance and why it's uniquely suited for seniors. Next, we'll talk about the growing need for this coverage, and we'll look at some eye-opening statistics and real-world scenarios that highlight the financial strain families face when a loved one passes away without a plan in place. Then we'll explore the actual costs associated with funerals and end-of-life expenses. This section is important because it helps you understand what your clients are up against and why they need your help. After that, we'll break down the different types of final expense policies. You'll learn how to match the right product to the right client based on their health, age, and financial situation. We'll also go over underwriting basics, what questions are asked, how carriers assess risk, and how you can help clients navigate the process smoothly. From there, we'll introduce you to some of the top carriers in the industry, what sets them apart. Each one has unique strengths, and knowing how to position them can make a big difference in your sales conversations. We'll bring it all together with real-life case studies, stories that show how final expense insurance has made the meaningful impact on families. These examples are powerful tools you can use in your own presentations. Then we'll shift gears and talk about the sales process. We'll cover how to handle objections, build trust, and close with confidence. This is where the rubber meets the road. We'll touch on compliance and ethics because doing things the right way isn't just good business. It's the only way to build a lasting career. And finally, we'll look at how to cross-sell final expense with other products like Medicare. This is a great way to add value for your clients and grow your book of business. So that's our roadmap. Whether you're here to learn, refresh, or refine your approach, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Final expense insurance is a type of whole life insurance designed to cover end-of-life costs, things like funeral expenses, medical bills, and small debts. It's typically marketed to seniors aged 50 to 85 and is known for being easy to qualify for with simplified underwriting and no medical exams. What makes it unique is its affordability and its purpose. It's not about leaving a financial legacy, it's about making sure loved ones aren't burdened with unexpected costs. Think of it as a financial safety net that allows families to grieve without worrying about how they'll pay for a funeral. And because it's whole life, the coverage never expires as long as the premiums are paid. Let's talk about why this coverage is so important. Nearly 70% of Americans don't have enough savings to cover a $1,000 emergency. That's a staggering statistic when you consider the average funeral cost between $8,000 and $12,000. Without coverage, families often turn towards credit cards, loans, or even crowdfunding to pay for final expenses. Final expense insurance helps prevent that. It gives family peace of mind knowing that these costs are taken care of. And for agents, it's an opportunity to offer something truly meaningful, something that makes a real difference in people's lives. Funeral costs have been rising steadily over the past few decades. In 2000, the average funeral cost was around $5,000. Today, it's closer to $9,000, and that doesn't include cemetery fees, flowers, or transportation. Even cremation, which is often seen as a lower cost option, can still run several $1,000s when you factor in services and memorials. These costs vary by region too. A funeral in a major city like New York or Los Angeles would double what it costs in a rural area. Final expense insurance helps lock in coverage at today's rates, protecting families from future inflation. When we talk about the top reason people choose final expense insurance, it really comes down to one word: relief. Relief for the family, relief for the person insured, and relief from the financial and emotional stress that follows a loss. Most people don't want to leave their loved ones scrambling to figure out how to pay for a funeral, cremation, or a burial. They want to know that when the time comes, their family can focus on grieving, not budgeting. And here's the thing: even those who think they're prepared often aren't. Maybe they have a small savings account or they assume their children will figure it out. But when you look at the actual costs, $8,000, $10,000, sometimes more, it's clear the plan is essential. Final expense insurance is that plan. It's simple, affordable, and tailored to meet this very specific need. It doesn't require a medical exam, it's easy to qualify for, and it provides peace of mind that's hard to put a price on. I've spoken with agents who've had clients thank them years later because when the worst happened, the policy was there. It paid out quickly, it covered the costs, and it allowed the family to say goodbye with dignity. That's the top reason, not just the numbers, not just the convenience, but the emotional impact. The ability to protect your loved ones from one more burden during an already difficult time. And that's why this product matters. It's not just insurance, it's a final act of love. When it comes to final expense insurance, one of the most common questions clients ask is, how much coverage do I really need? And that's where face amounts come into play. Face amount simply refers to the dollar value of the policy, the amount that will be paid out to the beneficiary when the insured passes away. In final expense, these amounts are typically smaller than traditional life insurance. We're talking anywhere from $2,000 to $50,000, with most clients choosing somewhere between $10,000 and $20,000. Why that range? Because it's designed to cover the essentials: funeral costs, burial or cremation, maybe a few outstanding bills. It's not meant to replace income or pay off a mortgage. It's about easing the financial burden during a very emotional time. Now, what clients choose depends on a few things. First, their budget. Final expense policies are meant to be affordable, so monthly premiums need to fit comfortably into a fixed income. Second, their goals. Some clients want to cover the basics, while others want to leave a little extra for their family. I've seen clients choose $15,000 because they want to cover funeral costs and leave a cushion for travel expenses or a small donation to a church. Others go with $10,000 because it's already prepaid part of their arrangements and need an extra little coverage. As an agent, your role is to help them think through these needs. Ask questions like, have you looked into funeral costs in your area? Or would you want to leave something behind for your grandchildren? These conversations help clients feel confident in their decision, and that's what builds trust. So remember, it's not about selling the biggest policy, it's about finding the right fit for each person's situation, goals, and peace of mind. Let's break down the product types. Level benefit plans offer full coverage from day one. Graded and modified plans have partial payouts in the first 2 years. Guaranteed issue plans are for clients with serious health conditions. No health questions, but a waiting period applies. Each type serves a different need, and knowing which fits your client is key. When it comes to underwriting final expense, most carriers use short health questionnaire, no medical exams. They're looking for major conditions like cancer, heart disease, or COPD. Some carriers use prescription history or MIB reports to verify answers. Approvals are fast, often within 24 to 48 hours. This simplicity makes it ideal for seniors who want coverage without the hassle. And for agents, it means quicker sales and a happier client. Each carrier brings something unique to the table. Some offer instant decisions, others have flexible underwriting or great riders. Knowing these differences helps us match the right product to each client's situation. Here are some of the top carriers we work with here at NCC. Each has unique features like instant decisions, Social Security billing, or rider options. Matching the right carrier to your client's health and budget makes all the difference. Mutual of Omaha is known for competitive rates and strong customer service. AIG offers guaranteed issue with no health questions, great for high-risk clients. Transamerica has flexible underwriting and solid agent support. Use quoting tools to compare rates, underwriting, and features. It's all about finding the best fit. Mrs. Johnson is a great example of a typical final expense client. She's 66, living alone in Georgia, a non-smoker with controlled hypertension and diabetes. She wanted to make sure her daughter wouldn't be stuck with funeral costs. She needed $15K in coverage and qualified for a level benefit plan with Mutual of Omaha at $55 a month. We even added an accelerated death benefit rider for added protection and was thrilled with the peace of mind it gave her. Simple, affordable, and effective. Mr. Gomez had more complex health issues: COPD, recent strokes, and on oxygen. He's been declined elsewhere, but with AIG's guaranteed issue whole life, we secured $10K in coverage at $150 a month. His family was relieved to have something in place even with the graded payout. This shows how powerful guaranteed issue can be. These aren't just policies, they're stories of love, responsibility, and planning. Let's walk through the sales process framework for final expense insurance. This isn't just about closing a deal, it's about guiding someone through a decision that affects their family's future. So we approach it with empathy, structure, and purpose. We start with prospecting. This is where you identify potential clients, usually seniors who age 50 to 85. You might be working referrals, community events, digital leads, or even Medicare appointments. The key here is consistency. The more conversations you start, the more opportunities you create. Next is initial contact. This is your first impression, and it sets the tone. Whether it's a phone call, a door knock, or a Zoom meeting, your goal is to build rapport. Ask open-ended questions. Listen more than you speak. You're not selling yet, you're connecting. Then we move into the fact-finding phase. This is where you learn about the client's health, financial situation, and goals. Ask questions like, have you looked into funeral costs in your area? Or do you have any existing coverage? This helps you tailor your recommendation and shows that you're focused on their needs, not just pushing a product. Once you've gathered the facts, it's time for the presentation. Keep it simple. Explain what final expense insurance is, how it works, and why it's relevant to them. Use stories and examples. Show them how it's helped others in similar situations, and always tie it back to their personal concerns. After the presentation comes handling objections. This is where many agents get nervous, but it's actually a great opportunity. Objection means the client is thinking. Common ones include, I already have insurance, or I can't afford it. Respond with empathy and clarity. For example, that's a valid concern. Let's look at how this policy could complement what you already have or fit within your budget. Then we move to the close. After you've built trust and addressed concern, the close should feel natural. Ask for the business confidently, but respectfully. Based on what we've discussed, I recommend this plan. Shall we get started on the application today? Finally, there's follow-up and service. This is where great agents stand out. Check in after the policy is issued. Make sure the client understands everything. Stay in touch for birthdays, policy reviews, or Medicare updates. This builds loyalty and referrals. So that's the framework: prospecting, contact, fact-finding, presentation, objection handling, closing, and follow-up. Each step matters. And when done with care, it doesn't just result in a sale, it builds a relationship that lasts. Let's talk about objections, because if you're selling final expense insurance, you're going to hear them. And that's not a bad thing. Objections aren't rejections, they're opportunities. They tell you the client is engaged, thinking critically, and maybe just needs a little more clarity or reassurance. One of the most common objections is, I already have insurance. When you hear that, don't push back. Instead, lean in with curiosity. Say something like, that's great. Can I ask what kind of coverage you have? Often they have a term policy that's about to expire or a group plan that won't follow them into retirement. Your job is to help them see the gaps without making them feel wrong. Another one you'll hear is, I can't afford it, and that's valid, especially for seniors on fixed incomes. But affordability is relative. You might respond with, I understand. Many of my clients felt the same way until they saw how flexible the options are. Let's look at something that fits your budget. Then show them a $10,000 policy with a manageable monthly premium. It's about meeting them where they are. Sometimes you'll get, I'll just save the money myself. That sounds reasonable, but it rarely works in practice. You can gently explain, that's a smart idea, but let's do the math. If you save $50 a month, it'll take over 16 years to reach $10,000. And if something happens sooner, your family may still be left with the bill. That kind of framing helps them see the value of immediate coverage. And then there's silent objection. The hesitation you can feel, but they don't say out loud. Maybe they're overwhelmed, skeptical, or just unsure. In those moments, slow down. Ask open-ended questions. Reaffirm your role as a guide, not a salesperson. What concerns do you have about this kind of coverage? Or what would make you feel more confident moving forward? The key to handling objections is empathy, patience, and preparation. Know your product, know your audience, and most importantly, know how to listen. When you respond with understanding, clarity, you don't just overcome objections. You build trust, and that's what leads to lasting relationships and successful sales. Let's take a moment to talk about something that's absolutely critical, not just for your success, but for your reputation: compliance and suitability. In this business, we're not just selling policies, we're guiding people through decisions that affect families, their finances, and their peace of mind. That means we have the responsibility to do it right every time. So, what does compliance really mean in the context of final expense insurance? It means following the rules set by your state, your carrier, and the industry. That includes using approved materials, disclosing all the relevant information, and documenting your conversations thoroughly. If you're replacing an existing policy, you need to explain why and make sure the new coverage is truly in the client's best interest. Suitability goes hand in hand with compliance. It's about making sure the product you recommend actually fits the client's needs. That means considering their age, health, financial situation, and goals. For example, if someone is living on a fixed income and you recommend a $30,000 policy with a premium they can't sustain, that's not suitable. Even if they say yes today, they may lapse in a few months, and that doesn't help anyone. Ask yourself, is this policy affordable for the client long term? Does it solve the problem they're trying to address? If the answer isn't a confident yes, it's time to reassess. And here's the thing: compliance isn't just about avoiding trouble, it's about building trust. Clients can sense when you're being transparent and ethical. That's what leads to referrals, renewals, and long term relationships. Make sure you're not using unapproved marketing materials or failing to disclose replacement policy. It's not worth the risk. Take the time to learn your carrier's guidelines. Stay current with state regulations, and when in doubt, ask. At the end of the day, compliance and suitability aren't just boxes to check. They're the foundation of a career built on integrity. And in this industry, integrity is everything. One of the most powerful opportunities in this business is cross selling. For this training, it's final expense, but there are other products as well. Before we dive deeper, it's important to remember that during a Medicare Advantage appointment, we can only discuss Medicare Advantage and related products as outlined in the scope of appointment. We can't market or sell other types of insurance, such as life or final expense coverage, during the same meeting. But that's okay. If your client expresses interest, you can easily schedule a separate appointment to explore those options. When you meet with Medicare clients, they're already thinking about their health, their future, and their finances, which makes the follow-up conversation about final expenses feel natural and relevant. You're not just offering another product. You're providing peace of mind and helping clients protect their legacy. Handled with empathy and clarity, it's a chance to build deeper trust and lasting relationships. You're not alone in this. NCC has tools, training, and people ready to help. Whether you need quoting help or sales coaching, we're all here to support your success. As we wrap up, let's talk about what comes next and where you can go to continue building your confidence and success in final expense insurance. First, make sure you're familiar with your carrier portals. These are gold mines of information. You'll find product brochures, underwriting guides, rate sheets, and even training videos. Most carriers offer e-application platforms, which make submitting business faster, cleaner, and more efficient. If you haven't explored those tools yet, now's the time. Next, lean into quoting tools. Platforms like iPipeline, CSG, and carrier-specific quote engines allow you to compare rates, underwriting requirements, and product features side by side. These tools help you find the best fit for your client in seconds, and they show your professionalism when you're presenting options. If you're looking to sharpen your skills, take advantage of training webinars and workshops. Many carriers and FMOs host regular sessions on everything from objection handling to compliance updates. These are great opportunities to learn from the top producers and ask questions in real time. Also, don't underestimate the value of peer communities. Whether it's a Facebook group for agents, a Slack channel, or a local networking event, connecting with others in the field can give you fresh ideas, encouragement, and even referrals. You're not in this alone. Now, for your personal next steps, review your current book of business. Are there clients who might benefit from final expense coverage but haven't been approached yet? Practice your presentation. The more natural and confident you sound, the more trust you will build. And finally, set a goal. Maybe it's writing your first policy this week or booking 5 appointments. Whatever it is, make it specific and actionable. You've got the tools, the knowledge, and the heart to make a real impact. Final expense isn't just about selling insurance, it's about helping families prepare for one of life's hardest moments. That's a mission worth pursuing. I want to take a moment to spotlight someone who's a true asset to our team, Julie Zimdars. Julie brings a unique blend of experience in operations, recruiting, and agent development, and she's someone who genuinely understands what agents face day to day. She's a licensed and certified agent herself with hands on knowledge across life, health, Medicare, and LTC. Whether you're just starting out or navigating contracting and certifications, Julie is here to help you move forward with clarity and confidence. She's not just knowledgeable, she's approachable and always ready to support your success. Thank you for joining me today. Final expense insurance may not be flashy, but it's deeply meaningful. You're helping families during one of the hardest times of their lives. Every policy you write is a promise kept and a way to say, I've got you covered. So go out there with heart, knowledge, and purpose. You're not just selling insurance, you're delivering peace. If you have questions or want to dive deeper, we are here to help. Once again, thank you, and I wish you great success in your journey. The staff of NCC thanks you kindly for your business and continued partnership.